and welcome to this live reading session with me, Hannah. Okay, so we have someone who has booked already, so we are going to grab their info. And Harry, yes, I want to say thank you so much, Harry, for booking. I'm just going to get everything here. Also, of course, I'm waiting for people to join, to jump on. Let's see. So yes, I will get that information. It's just linked, sorry. It's taking its time. But we'll get there. Go here. Just trying to shut down anything that might slow the process. Hi, yes, hi Sin City, welcome back. Oh yay, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's all finished now, and there's going to be so many more posts coming and carousels and things. So I'm really excited for you to see what's coming next on the Instagram. And thank you so much for all of the love and support. And hello to Chloe. Hi to you. Welcome. Hello to King Capricorn. Yes, I recognize your name from commenting frequently and things on the shorts. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And hello also to Karen. Hi. I hope you're doing good. And then also hi to Harumil. Is it Harumi? Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Sorry, I'm just grabbing this information. It's taken a second, but we'll get there. Okay, amazing. We've got your info here, Harry. Thank you so much. And hello to Patricia. Welcome to you. Everyone's joining today and saying hello, which is very nice. How are you all feeling about coming to the end of Pisces season and the new year, right? The astrological new year is tomorrow. Happy New Year! Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope that the new year ahead serves you well. Indeed. Hello to Okay, You're Right. That's a really cool name. I love that. Welcome to you as well. Thank you for joining. Okay, let me just, I'm trying to focus here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this information sorted. Where am I looking here? I think that's, if Harry is in the audience at all, I do have a question for you. Oh yeah, you're Harry. Okay, cool. Nice. You're Harry, just to let you know, you're our long-time viewer. Cool, very good. And sorry, Harry, my question to you is, do you have a question, right? Do you have a question, or do you have an area you would like to focus on for your reading? I am just grabbing information now, so thank you very much. And let me see here. Sorry, I'm kind of doing a million things at once. And yes, haha, amazing. Robert, you have booked again, Robert. Thank you so much for booking. And of course, then for you, Robert, I know that you have, I think this is your third time booking. So maybe just take some time to reflect and think about what your question might be for your reading, right? If there's anything you want to ask, that could be a good idea whilst I am completing Harry's reading. So yeah, thank you very much, Robert, and thank you, Harry, kindly. Let's see. Let's have a look. Okay, see if that. I should probably do like a, how do you say, a screen share where I show you all of the tabs I have open and all the things I have to jump through. I have to click here, click. It's a good time. I have to look at my screen to my right. There's a lot going on, but we make it work. Okay, so let's see. You want to ask what looks best for you in terms of your future and goals, career, things like that. Okay, so future goals, hopes, wishes, maybe, yeah, things like that. No problem at all. And yes, for you, Robert, it's your third time. You will sit with the question. Okay, no problem, no problem. Sweet. Let's see. Actually, I want to say to both of you, thank you so much for booking, of course. Okay. Just trying to keep my eye on this, make sure I'm refreshing and stuff. Alrighty. Let's go here. I am just looking at your chart now, Harry. So go here. Harry and Robert. Put my glasses, can, see. That would help. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna also explore this. Nice. Okay, so just to let you know that these sessions are about 10 minutes or so, and these are mini readings. All right, they're mini readings, but naturally, if anybody would like to book a full reading with myself, you can do so by visiting my website, hannahselsewhere.com. And Harry, you say that this is, okay, it's your first time having your chart read. Okay, well, let's definitely look into this then. This is interesting. So I'm just going to take a sip of water and then look over your chart a little bit more, and then we will get into it, okay? And also, I don't look at the chat whilst I'm reading the chart, just because I don't want to get distracted. Bring that over here. Please don't move over to that. Yeah, that's perfect. So, hopes and wishes, goals, future, things like that. Saturn is in Gemini. Oh, right. So Saturn return isn't for a good few years, of course. Okay, sorry. I was going to say let's begin, but I need to stop that for 1 second because we have somebody else who's booked. I do apologize. Harry, thank you for your patience. It's just that whenever there are different bookings coming in, I need to be cautious because I don't want too many people to join. I hope you understand. But we have Karen, who has also booked. Do I recognize, is this a different Karen, the same Karen from before? I'm not sure. But just to let you know, Karen, yes, I see you. I can only take one more person. 4 is my limit for this session, so I'm kind of being a bit mindful here. So if Karen is there at all, let me know. And it's also to let you know that basically I acknowledge that you've a different card. No problem. Well, thank you very much for booking. Is this your first time booking with me, of course, or is it your first time having your chart read? Who knows? But yeah, thank you very much for booking. And so I've got you booked in. And then, as I was saying to Robert, in a similar way for you then, Karen, try to think maybe if you have a question or an area you want to focus on for your segment, and then we'll come round to you after Robert. So we have Harry, Robert, and Karen. But yes, I can only take one more person, so I want to be mindful of that. I'm going to get that kind of ready just in case, so then everything is sort of set, so then it doesn't go over. Okay, and then I will keep my eye on that. And if anybody, I suppose if anything does happen where it goes over, I can only take one more person for this session. And if anybody else does book, then I can get round to that tomorrow. I'll be able to do that even behind the scenes tomorrow and then get it sent to you as well. So just to let you know, even if there's any issues with the live or anything like that, of course that would be the same sort of process. Yes, the link is below. So let's see here. And Karen, yes, it is. It's your first time booking with myself. No problem. I have not reached the 4 yet. Whoever basically is able to get there first. Yeah, I'm just sort of watching. I'm just patiently waiting. Sorry, Harry. I'm with you. I'm just trying to be mindful of booking and overbooking. And like I say, if it does sort of go into maybe somebody else accidentally booking, I can always, of course, either refund you the money or I can do it behind the scenes and then get it sent to you tomorrow. So it's up to you. It's up to you. And I will make sure, obviously, to communicate with you if you have, a question or anything like that. So the way to do it is there's the link below. There is the booking link below. Yes, it will, Harry. This live session will be kept up. The live sessions are always kept up, so then anybody can come back at any time to watch, to rewatch. Sorry, I'm just trying to be mindful because I would rather sort of have everything set now rather than starting your reading, Harry, and then having to, look at it. I want to be able to like focus my attention on each person at a time. I don't want to get like distracted, you know what I mean? I might just have to begin. Might just have to go to basically begin yours, Harry. And then if somebody else does book, I can still come back then after your reading and then acknowledge. Oh, Karen, you have your question there. Okay, let me kind of jot that down so I don't lose it in the chat. So for you, Harry, it was sort of like goals, future career sort of areas, things like that. No problem. For you, Karen, helpful information regarding transits. Okay, so over the next 3 months, something like that. Okay, bit of an overview into the next quarter, right? So that's like a quarterly period into the new year, of course. So that's interesting. Okay. And you have a lot of activity in your 10th house and you're finding that work is pretty chaotic. Okay. So sort of work stuff, 10th house stuff, you're finding things to be quite chaotic at the moment. Okay. I've jotted that down so I remember. Right, I'm just going to trust. We're going to get on with yours, Harry, and then I'm going to trust whoever is the next person to book. I have everything set anyway, so then I can save. And then whoever it is, I will let whoever that is know after Harry's reading. Okay, just I don't want to interrupt your reading to do that. Right, so I am gonna just browse over your chart one more time to kind of sink back in. So let's begin here, Harry. Seeing as naturally this is your first reading ever, I want to try my best to, of course, answer your question, but I also want to be able to introduce you to your chart in a way that is easy to understand and digest, of course. So, the first thing I want to say here is you have a lot of Sagittarius within you. Now, what this essentially suggests about you and how you sort of show up in the world and in terms of your identity and your individuality is that you could consider yourself to be a rather free spirit. Okay, that could be something that's quite important to you. Maybe for you, knowing that you have enough maybe time or space to do things, enough freedom to be able to move or to travel or to explore things that you're really interested in, right? All of these things could just be significant in your life. Now, there's more to this. There is more to this because I wanted to explore the Placidus system in combination with this for a couple of reasons. I'm not going to say the reasons because I don't want to waste time, but whenever we use the Placidus system at the same time, we notice also that you've got this Capricorn influence in the first house and it's intercepted along with Mercury and Chiron. So, whilst there is this big part of you, this large part of you that is very much about freedom, there is another part of you, I think, that, well, maybe you can be a bit hard on yourself. I kind of imagine the inner critic for you being quite loud or pretty authoritative. Now, the other way to think about this is that you could have these thoughts in a way where you're able to push yourself, right? You're able to push yourself beyond your limits. You're able to show up in the world as someone who is structured with good stamina, good endurance. Maybe being self sufficient is important to you, being hardworking or dedicated. These kinds of things could be pretty important to you. But it's also a case of how you manage that inner critic or the imposter syndrome that could come along with that. So these could be the types of things that you come to learn about more so in this life. And I'm also going to say this could be a process that involves you possibly helping other people. Okay. What I imagine for you, when we think about goals and we think about maybe even what fulfills you in a way, what is meaningful to you. It could be a thing of trying to assist others, right? Trying to maybe support other people who are hard on themselves or trying to show up as a dedicated figure, a supportive figure in other people's lives. See, what we also see is that Jupiter, which is your chart ruler, Jupiter is located in Cancer and it's also intercepted. It's in the seventh house. So there's something here about you possibly coming to learn how to really tune in with maybe greater inner security, believing in being more of a comforting support system for other people, even though you might not necessarily see these things within yourself too much. Or it could be a thing where it's more about your evolution. This is a part of your personal growth, your personal journey. But I think to have Jupiter in the seventh house in this way, using the Placidus system, it could be a thing of you offering your guidance, right? Offering nurturing support and guidance to others. Now, I also want to think about this in combination with the whole sign system, because that Jupiter influence is actually in the eighth house when we look to the whole sign system. And so to have it in the eighth house, I actually think that your perspectives are deep. Your perspectives, your philosophical views, the wisdom that you possess, whilst you might not necessarily look at it as wisdom, but yeah, these kinds of things could come across as rather nurturing and kind and caring. Then what we also throw into the mix is the fact that Mars Mars is in Pisces, and Mars rules your midheaven. So the midheaven can actually speak to your future goals, right? It can speak to your purpose. It can speak to a possible career path. Yes. So to have Mars in Pisces, there's something here about, I think, just the amount of depth that you possess, the amount of knowledge you possess and wisdom related to people's maybe emotional struggles, emotional pain. You could be someone who acts as a guide or as a source of inspiration for others, honestly, coming from a place of deep empathy, because it's like you've seen what it's like, or you've felt what it's like, you've experienced what it's like to maybe go through such heaviness, such darkness, such pain, okay? And it's almost like you can transform that pain into wisdom and support for others. That could actually be a very fulfilling process or a journey for you, where it's about committing to a certain person's life or many people's lives, right? It could even be a thing of being there for the vulnerable, being there for the elderly, being there for people who have felt shame, or they've been ridiculed, they've been judged, they've been cast out from society. All these types of things could be a big driving factor for you in this life. Then, where I also go to is the fact that you've got the moon and Uranus in Aquarius. So, excuse me, whilst you have so much Sagittarius that is about freedom and approaching life, even from this place of, okay, experience and opportunity and growth, there's another part of you with the Aquarius that I think wants to make the world a better place, genuinely wants to see other people happy, other people thriving. You could be like this within your local area, honestly, if we look at it within the context of the third house, right? Maybe it is a thing of, as you do come to age and mature and grow, right? You could be that source of not just, okay, we're saying knowledge for others, but also I think hope, right? There's something about giving others hope, but you're also gonna be practical in it, right? It's not just about being idealistic in terms of hope. It's also about, okay, well, what are you actually doing to do, right, to bring that hope to other people, to be practical with it. And then that's where I want to bring in the fact that Saturn, so Saturn is the dispositor of Mercury and Chiron, it's the dispositor of your Aquarius planets. Saturn's in Gemini, if we look to the whole sign system, right? In the seventh with the North Node. So to me, what this overall suggests is you showing up as that authority for people in multiple situations. Just there's so much diversity here. There's so much here about being such a great communicative person, right? A conversationalist. That's what I get from you. And whilst it might not necessarily seem like that or feel like that, maybe because your visions are so wild and fast, and it's like, well, what am I here for? And what am I doing? Right? You've got the South Node in Sagittarius with the Sun. Whilst it might not seem like that, I think that with time and effort and patience, and as you grow and everything, I think that you could become this individual who is very steady in your thoughts, steady with your words. And the words that you have or that you say are to land well with others. And I think that that's something that you could refine. Okay. That's something that maybe requires some creativity or being innovative or experimenting, right? You've even got Neptune there in Aquarius, and it's making a trine to Saturn. So to have Neptune in Aquarius in the third, along with Uranus and all of that, to me, what this implies is you're breaking free characteristics, but it's those breaking free characteristics that can be poured into others, right? Into a mission, a group vision, into something that's larger than you, right? Into something where you can physically see the results of your words and your impact, right? It's so much about impact here with these Aquarius planets. But indeed, what I will say here then is, with Saturn being in Gemini, and you haven't experienced your first Saturn return, that's going to come more so toward your, I would say, late 20s, early 30s or whatever. But I think that that really highlights just something about your maturity to do with communication, your maturity when it comes to socializing and really sort of engaging with people in a way where they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel valued, they feel respected. And that's also further suggested given how Venus and the Sun are in Sagittarius too. Yeah. Yeah. There's something, I'm going to finish off by saying this. There's something quite likable, I think, about you. Yeah. In terms of how you show up in the world, something very likable. Indeed. But anyway, I am going to finish it there because that's all I have. That's all I have time for. These are mini readings and we're still good for time. Okay, cool. Let's see. Interesting, Harry. That's very, very interesting indeed. Oh, you're with your Mars and Pisces. I'm sure even just emotionally, it can be a lot, possibly. Or maybe is it that, I'm not even, I have to kind of move on. Sorry, because I was going to go into a lot of stuff there. Rachel, hello, Rachel, welcome. Oh, amazing. Well, do you know what? Thank you very much for joining. Thanks for catching the live. Let me see. Oh, wow. Thank you. That's so kind of you. Now, let me see. Oh, now, see, Rachel, I am so sorry, but the way this works, there is a link below, and I'm not sure what to do there. I know that you just submitted payment and I'm very grateful for that, but it's the thing of that's not how the process works. So I don't know, and I feel kind of bad. But anyway, I have to get on here. So let's see. Robert, you are next. Thank you so much for your patience. And Harry, thank you so much again. Okay. So let's load. Oh, thank Rachel. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you then. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure. Oh my goodness. And of course, thank you amazingly just and in a very thoughtful way in terms of just all of the support that you've shown over the years. That's amazing to hear. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Robert. Where was it? Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Oh. Yep. Yep. Okay, nice. I am loading your chart, Robert. Go here. And go here. Here. Yes, Rachel, no problem. And hello to Brandon. Welcome. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for joining. And also to Noonian, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So there is a link below if you are interested in having your chart read. Robert. Oh, that. All right. Also, just to let you know, everyone, that there is currently a bit of a sale, a new year, astrological new year sale over on my website, hannahselsewhere.com. So if you use the code NewYear15 at checkout when you're booking a longer reading with myself, you can receive 15% off your reading. All right. And no problem, Rachel. Of course, no worries. And to Robert, so your question is no sugarcoating. Okay. No, no problem. What is it trying to tell you where you should be putting your focus right now? Oh, interesting. Okay. Where should you be putting your focus right now? What I'm hearing from that, what I'm picking up on is what is holding you back. That's what I'm hearing there. What's holding you back? Let's see, transits. Okay. Just having a look at your transits. What is a big focus right now for you? Hmm. Jupiter, Mars, Venus. Okay. So we are going to begin. We're going to begin. Just to let everybody know that I do not look at the chat whenever I am reading the chart, just because I don't want to get distracted too much. I do sometimes jump on, but it's just to let you know that that's usually my process. And we're gonna begin. Yes, we are going to begin. Let me just actually read the message one more time. It's trying to tell you. Okay. So, Robert, let's do this. And you said also no sugar coating, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, so the first thing that is jumping out at me here, Robert, is to do with how you have the North Node in Virgo, all right, and the Ascendant. And what's going to happen by around the summertime, on the lead up to the summer here, okay, is the South Node is going to join with the North Node. So there's something here, I think, about how you might be holding yourself back when it comes to possibly being overly critical of yourself. This could be a mental game, honestly, a mental thing. So then I wonder about significant mental shifts that could be up ahead for you. But I think what's important to keep in mind is how you can be proactive about these things. So rather than it sort of being a thing of, oh my goodness, thoughts are going wild. Why do I feel this way? Why am I all of a sudden, criticizing myself? These kinds of things, or it could even be a thing of particular fears, right? The fears of the unknown, the fears of a new chapter, right? These kinds of things, especially because you have Mercury retrograde in Leo too. So instead of, trying to or becoming too swept up in those things, how can you get to yourself to a point where you're able to attend to what is actually physically doable, what is possible? See, what I get from this is possibly you visualizing things or imagining things, maybe living in a world of fantasy or make believe, or having these big dreams or these big, yeah, these big visions. And whilst I think this can partly be a really great tool, okay, so what I imagine is your ability to be imaginative, is to be imaginative, is to be very creative. But whilst it could be used, these things could be used as a good tool, I still think what's coming up here is what is actually possible. And that could be maybe a process that you can look into for yourself or assess, and look more so within your everyday life. You know, I think about the practical things. I think about the to-do lists, or I think about maybe even health thoughts, or it could also be a case of your routines and your daily habits sort of shifting and changing. Hey, you know what? Could also possibly be that you love to be creative, right? You've got the sun in Leo, you've got Mercury retrograde in Leo in the 12th house. I get from this your passion, your enthusiasm. I get the zest for life that you possess, but yet these things seem to be more internal, or these parts of you seem to be more hidden. And it could be a case of, okay, well, is it that you are aiming or seeking to bring these parts of you out more in a way where you're not being as hard on yourself, you're not judging yourself? And it could even be a case of the realizations to do with the more that you kind of are concerned about other people, judging you, it's actually a manifestation or reflection of just how much you're judging you yourself. It's coming from the inside, right? That could be a thing right now. Then we also noticed that the new moon actually happened there, Robert, in Pisces. So that new moon happened literally yesterday. Well, today, yesterday, depending on where you are. And it joined up with Jupiter. You've got Jupiter in Pisces in the 7th house. So this could be a thing of setting new intentions, possibly to do with what you visualize, what you imagine, especially within relationships, right? Maybe relationships or partnerships have been strongly, heavily on your mind, especially because so many planets right now are in Pisces. And it could even be a thing where these types of relationship visualizations are linked to, maybe it could be money, resources, stability, learning, furthering yourself, wanting to break away from maybe a certain practical situation tied to your belief systems. And I'm saying this because Jupiter does make a sextile to the midheaven, and then Uranus is there. So there's something about what's being shaken up. What I sort of get from this is it that you're sort of bored? Are you bored with where you're at? Are you feeling a sense of lack? Are you even feeling a sense of scarcity? Could that be a thing where there's a type of scarcity mindset? Is it a thing of you just want to push through the next while because it's a lot right now for you, in terms of maybe it could be financially a lot right now. It could be a thing where you're having to knuckle down and commit to a budget plan or a spending plan. Management stuff could be coming up, just not only in terms of work management and things like that, and kind of having authority figures and so on, but it could equally be just managing life in general, right? I kind of get from this, in a way, the overwhelm, possibly, overwhelm, or feeling stressed, or feeling just like there's a lot to get through, right? There's a mountain that is to be sort of completed. But then where I go to with this is it that you have that support? Is it that you have people that you can talk to openly, maybe about your dreams, about any worries or concerns? Could it even be a thing that what is internalized here, right? We were talking about the internal voice and all of that. Is it that that stuff could more so be externalized, right? It's almost that thing of when you share a problem or you share an issue with a friend or a family member or a loved one, then that could actually open you up to receiving, right? Receiving more, or realizing that, you know what, your friends have your back, or people want to protect you, or they want the best for you. You know, it's interesting because Jupiter is now direct and Jupiter rules your seventh house, remember? And so Jupiter is direct in Cancer and it's there with Venus and Mars right now. So I kind of go to, okay, well, is it that you are seeking to expand or grow within the context of feeling safe or feeling a sense of belonging? Is it that you're wanting to expand your social circles or your networks, or you're wanting to maybe be a part of certain groups that just feels, yeah, it feels safe, it feels right, it feels good. And maybe for the past while, you've been indulging a little bit. I kind of imagine here the emotional indulgence or the possibly romanticizing things, maybe romanticizing the past, romanticizing how things were, wishing you could go back to certain family experiences or friend experiences, right? The memory stuff could be very active here. But then equally, could it be a thing here, Robert, of, okay, maybe being honest with yourself about what you need, right? Needs, I think, comes into this quite a bit. And it's an interesting thing because Jupiter, whilst Jupiter was retrograde, right, it would have then trined the Scorpio planets a little bit. And you already have the moon in Scorpio. So partly where I go to here as well is, well, what about intimacy? What about trust? Could it be a thing of right now you are seeking more trusting bond, you know, that emotional bond with others? And I think in some respects, because Jupiter is now direct and with it there being conjunct Venus and Mars, maybe things will start to move. But I still equally want to say that it's about you being an active participant in that process, right? See, it could even be a case of you overcoming some fears to do with dependence or to do with security, putting yourself out there in a new way. Maybe that's equally where Saturn and Neptune coming into the eighth house could highlight some things to do with your independence and your own sort of autonomy and how you do sort of assert yourself into certain social situations. Then again, I am going to sort of finish this off by saying that because Venus and Mars are there, it's still trying to remember that possibly what you do require or need is that it's, to me, it's more of an intimate bond, right? But yet, I don't know, there's just something here about you. There's something here about not letting yourself get to that point to be vulnerable or to let others in, if you will. I mean, Saturn's opposing the moon, and then the moon's conjunct Chiron. This is a part of a bigger process, Robert, honestly, right? It's a part of a bigger process. And it's a part of your Chiron story and your trajectory, which I do think, you know, with more time and everything as well, I think that you could learn maybe to be somewhat more possibly open or trusting or vulnerable with others in terms of, you know, what your deepest desires are. Yeah. I could say more, but I do have to stop because these are mini readings. I hope I was able to shed light on maybe something new with your reading. I know we've talked about that moon in Scorpio before. Um, but yeah, just remember that, you know, the transits of Pisces and stuff, if we think about the relationship activations, things will start to ease where maybe the relationship sector isn't going to be as active, if you will. But anyway, the intensity of it anyway. So yeah, Robert, I hope that was helpful, and I wish I could go on. Yeah, it's there's just a lot. There's a lot that I could say, but I do have to stop at some point. Thank you so much, Robert, again. Third time. Third time. Right. So, Karen, let's see. Oh, it's good, because we can, when it comes to longer readings, we can go in more in depth. And I'm sure, hey, I'm sure you enjoy that more. It's your ability to go deep into things. Right, let me have a look here. Okay. I think it was that one, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's see. Karen. Oh, and Scorpio too. Okay, nice. Let me just get your chart here. And it's your chart ruler. Interesting indeed. So you want to know more about 3 months, 3 months transits. Of course, these are 10. There's really so much I can talk about, but we'll try, okay? We'll try our best to see what ground we can cover here. Rachel, thank you so much. That's so nice. And Robert, thank you. Yes, till next time. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you're getting up to today. I know that it's a bit earlier, of course, where you are located. But yeah, thank you everybody for booking and joining, tuning in, everything. Thank you. So let me grab transits. What is going on? Just give me a moment then, please, Karen, whilst I look at your chart, okay? Work, 10th house, chaotic. Interesting. Where is that? Let me see. If I look. I go. Yeah, so it'll be Mars. Yes. Mercury. Uranus. Yep. Venus. Taurus. Mercury. New moon. Okay. Got it. So, Karen, we are going to begin. And just a reminder, everyone, that I don't tend to look at the chat whilst I am reading the chart, just because it tends to distract me and I don't want to be distracted so much. But I'll check in after, okay, and see what you thought and everything else. Right. So, Karen, for you, there's a lot here to do with work. Yeah, you want to know about work stuff, career stuff. Life seems to feel a bit chaotic at the moment. So, what we'll try to focus on here is, yes, a great deal of the 10th house. Great deal of the 10th house here. Because what we're seeing, Karen, is you've got Chiron in Aries in the 10th, and you have experienced your Chiron return, actually. You're still sort of learning, integrating, and everything. Chiron is still in Aries. But what does this sort of imply? Well, where I went to, firstly, when I looked at your chart just overall, I went to the word support system. Care worker also came up for me, and assisting others possibly through loss or death. That's another thing that came up for me. And also possibly even managing other people's accounts or money or resources and all of that. Yeah. And how as well, possibly when it comes to your work habits and routines, things could be pretty full on because Jupiter, which is the ruler of the midheaven, it is in Sagittarius and it's there with Neptune, which is the other ruler of the midheaven. So I kind of imagine then possibly lack of boundaries or lack of being able to really plan for things, maybe because of how full on things really are. You know, I even think about health or the medical world, all of that, especially with Chiron equally in the 10th. But to focus more so on, okay, you and your inner state and the Chiron return, I imagine here, Karen, that what's possibly been coming up for you a lot is advocating for yourself. Because if it is that there's so many work demands, you know, maybe demands from bosses or managers, or you possibly even having to step into a particular boss or manager role, that could be something that you already do, who knows. But when it comes to that, maybe you felt the weight of a lot of these things recently, a lot of responsibility, type of heaviness. But it could also be a thing of, by you being willing enough to stand up and say, hey, hold on, I need this, or I am I basically am too busy to handle that, whatever it is. I think that could be a part of this Chiron in Aries story for you. And it could also be here about strength, the amount of strength, the amount of courage on your part, and your will, right? It's the will and the drive that you possess in order to actually get things done, get things moving. So, if we look at all of these transits then coming into the 10th, and this is going to continue. Yes, this is going to continue, Karen, because what will happen is, you know, Mars is going to enter into Aries soon. Mercury will go into Aries soon, and Aries season pretty much starts tomorrow. So I would say Aries season. So for the next month or so, even 6 weeks, something like that, you know, things could possibly be quite full on, just career wise, professionally speaking wise. And it's not even necessarily, I mean, it could be that there's more to be done, possibly, but it could be a thing of there's just a lot of activity with everybody else around you and just thinking about, you know, your coworkers and your colleagues and all of that. Now, the other thing then is we want to think about where Mars is actually located, right? So your natal Mars is in Aquarius, and the North Node is also in Aquarius. So where I equally go to is, right, is it a case of you managing other people? Is it about working with systems? Is it a thing of there's just so much hidden stuff that needs to be organized and sorted out, and that's where a lot of your energy is right now? Maybe even a big part of this is about your internal shifts, right? It's more of a subconscious transformation that's going on right for you right now, right? So it could be a thing of there's just a lot of connections that you're noticing, a lot of connections between you and others, and you're trying to be more objective about things, or maybe you're trying to sort of figure out, well, where is your place in all of this and what isn't working. You could be a brilliant systems analyst, honestly, where you're able to get stuck in and you're able to dissect things and take things apart and then find the errors, right? Find what isn't working. We further see this with all of your Scorpio planets, right? You've got the moon, you've got Venus, you've got Mercury, all in Scorpio. There's just something here about your investigative mind, your investigative spirit, even, and even I would say the BS radar that you possess. So, if it is, this is what's coming through. If it is that there's a lot happening in terms of maybe just arguments, chaos, people being disrespectful, all of that, with all these Aries planets coming in, maybe a big part of the Scorpio side of you, right? It's jumping in and it's saying high alert, self-preservation. No, this doesn't seem right. Then the other thing to keep in mind is those planets, right? They're going to oppose the Libra stuff in the fourth. You already have so many, right? Your sun's in Libra, you've Libra planets in the fourth. So that could be a thing of you being proactive about, no, I need to balance this out. Yeah, that could be what is possibly coming up for you. It's a thing of, well, how are you weighing things out? How are you really making decisions in terms of what you can physically do? Could it be a thing of what is being expected of you is making you sick, or it's getting the better of you? Is it even a thing of you're just looking for greater peace and greater harmony? And it just seems like a lot, right? Even Chiron is opposing the sun there a little bit. So there seems to be just so much going on professionally that could be counteracting a bit so it could be sort of going against basically the family side of things, your family demands. Now, of course, what will happen is those planets will start to move. And so I would say the next month, so 6 weeks with the Aries stuff. Then we come into Taurus season around the 25th of April. Uranus will move out of Taurus into Gemini. So let's try to focus on that bit to kind of close this. I hope you understand that there's only so much time I have. But anyway, let's think about Uranus finishing up transiting your 11th house and how that then has been a part of your story. So if we consider maybe group dynamics have suddenly shifted and changed in terms of stability, in terms of security, maybe for you, what you've been seeking more so is greater stability for the long term for your future. Even Uranus is the ruler of, well, it's the dispositor of the North Node of Mars. So maybe for you, it's a case of, well, you are finally at your limit, or you are ready for a transformation or a breakthrough, or maybe you're ready to sort of finally be done with a particular area or a value system that doesn't support you and your lifestyle anymore. Yeah, maybe even your views possibly about the collective, especially, within the context of an institution or an organization, right? Those kinds of things are really changing. And it could be a thing of you're ready to break away. And whenever Uranus does eventually move into Gemini, what will happen over the next number of months is, well, number of months to a year, something like that. Uranus will eventually join up with Saturn. Now, Saturn is the other ruler of your 8th. It's also the ruler of your 7th. So I imagine even here, relationship changes, breaking away from partnerships or business relationships, especially ones that feel limiting, and more so choosing greater freedom. This could also be more of a spiritual process for you, where you feel like, if there is a caging feeling, or if there is a limiting feeling at all, restrictive, you could very well turn around and say, hey, you know what? I am ready to go on my own path here. It could be a thing of needing more time alone, needing more time to retreat and to go into yourself. Heck, right? This could also be more about being more open in terms of, all right, so it doesn't have to be one or the other. It could be a thing of just needing to maybe assess what your options are, right? And to take some time then to consider, is this role for me? Is this position for me? Is there something else I maybe want to try? Heck, you could even be possibly introduced to new people through connections, or it could even be a thing of you're ready to just sort of go, do you know what? I need this time to think about what my options are. And you can be more choosy. What I even get from this to finish off is your ability to be more choosy and to not feel like you have to choose the first option that is available to you. Yes, that could be a thing even with your sun in Libra, right? The sun in Libra suggesting your ability to weigh out your options more. But yeah, I'm going to have to stop it there, Karen. And I do feel like I feel partly like I need to mention Jupiter is still transiting your first house. So with Jupiter transiting your first house, there does appear to be elements of seeking something more, wanting to grow, wanting to expand so that you can support yourself, right? To support your family, to more so understand, okay, well, where is it that I feel limited? Where do I feel restricted? What have I outgrown? What spaces have you possibly outgrown? And that could be within the context of career right now for you, because Jupiter, like I said, rules the midheaven. But anyway, so there's just so much, there's so much there. So much. Oh, Karen, you say that you are a senior financial analyst. Interesting. That's so interesting. The hidden stuff not being discussed. No real. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So yes, working with as an analyst, managing other people's, money, finances, all of that. Yeah, and then being a bit of a leader there then. Yeah, being the senior financial analyst. Oh, so it does seem like there there are conversations that are being had so that you can really consider, okay, well, what is best for you right now? So interesting. It should be interesting to see what will sort of manifest whenever Uranus moves into Gemini in the next month or so, and then will be there for 7 years. So yeah, yeah, there could be some business partnerships that you really start to assess more so. Wow. Anyway, thank you so much, Karen. Thank you for your feedback. It's always good to have feedback in real time to know if I'm sort of on the right track there. Yeah. But we don't have anybody else who has booked, which is all good. It's all good. So I'm not sure if anybody else would like to book for one more. I could take one more. I have enough energy in me, but if not, it's okay as well. I can get going. It's been an hour. Yeah. Oh, Rachel. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. And there's no pressure, by the way. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. I can get going all the same as well. No problem. Okay. Oh, I'm not really sure, but it's okay. Don't be worrying about it, Rachel. You're fine. I can just leave it anyway. I'm not really sure. Also, I can come back on tomorrow, so if you want to think about it, or there's no pressure, no rush. And yeah, I would rather you just sort of, not feel like you need to rush to do it or anything. So I can come back on tomorrow if that works, and whoever else would like to even come back on tomorrow. Okay, you got it. Okay, no problem. No problem. Oh, so tomorrow it'll be maybe like 6 p.m. GMT. And if you're located in Australia, I think that's about 6 a.m. your time. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, you're fine. It's okay. Just see. If it works out in the future, it works out. Don't be worried or anything. And I think tomorrow I might try to come on at about 5 p.m. GMT or 6 p.m., something like that, around that time. And then sure, if it works out, it works out. And if not, it's okay too. And hello, Victoria. Hi to you. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. To wait till tomorrow. Well, thank you to Mo Peaches for with my energy and stuff. Yeah, okay. Well, if that works, obviously, even especially if a couple of you would like to do that, shall we do it now? Okay. um okay, yeah, Rachel, we'll sort it out this way. Rachel, go for it. If you want to get your reading done now, okay. We'll do yours now. And then to you, Mo Peaches, if if you maybe if you're happy enough for tomorrow, if that's okay, I can come back on. It is just more about like my energy and stuff, but yeah, you're kind of right. Um, let's maybe let's see. Is it coming through at this moment? Okay, tomorrow. Okay, I've got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind. Okay, right. I'm gonna get going. What I'll do even is whenever I come out of this, right? Whenever I shut this all down, and what I'll do is I will schedule tomorrow's live session after this, right? And then that means that when you see that booking link, you will come on for tomorrow, right? You'll see the time and all of that. And then it's up to you. You change your mind, completely fine too. You know, it's all good. But I'm going to get going. So I just want to say, Rachel, thank you very much. And then also to Mo Peaches, which is a very cute name, by the way. That's very cute. But yes, thank you very much. I'm going to get going, everybody. Thank you to Harry, Robert, and Karen for booking this evening. And I will see you tomorrow, where I'm going to post all of that. Okay, bye. Bye. Thank you very much for saying about